Hello everybody. This time I'm going to talk about three different subjects. The first one basically being the return of Otto Warmbier to the US. And there's been lots of stuff discussed in the media, especially in the last few days, obviously, in the last few weeks. He travels there end of December in 2015. He flies to North Korea with a Chinese tour operator by the name of Young Pioneer Tours. He plans to stay there for 5 days and then to carry on to Hong Kong from Pyongyang. His dad says that he was curious about the culture and wanted to get to know the people in North Korea. There's nothing wrong with that. I understand that. I get that. But it's difficult, you know. If you're an American, you might want to just go somewhere else. So apparently, January 2nd, 2016, the last day of that trip, two policemen arrest Otto Warmbier in Pyongyang. Two guards came and tapped him on the shoulder and took him off. Danny Grotton, who was sharing a room with Otto at the time, tells the Washington Post. He says nobody was speaking. Otto did not fight. He did not look scared. He just smiled a little bit. The other members of the group leave the country. So they leave him there. That's lovely. January 22nd, North Korea announces that it has arrested him for hostile activities against the state. He supposedly stole a propaganda poster from his hotel room. Okay. The media speculates that Pyongyang wants to get into negotiation talks with the US and in Washington by arresting him, so they'll have to negotiate with them. That's their theory. So, on the 1st of March, North Korea publishes a video of him. In it, he confesses, and this is like, confesses. Then he asks the North Korean people and government for forgiveness for his crime. He says that he's stolen a banner on behalf of the US church in a hotel, that he had been promised money if he did, 10,000 if he brought the poster to the US, 200,000 if he was caught in North Korea. Well, that doesn't really sound really sensible at all. That sounds very made up and a load of rubbish. Then he goes on to say, I have made the worst mistake of my life. It's very obviously a staged press conference. He's very upset. He's crying very tearfully. It looks like he was forced to make the statement. And as you know, the Korean government says that he acted under direction of the US government. Yeah, because we totally do that sort of thing, you know, Europeans and Americans, we totally go to other places so we can spy on you. Rubbish. On the 2nd of March, that's one day after this media confession, right, his parents, for the very last time, receive a direct sign of life of him. Swedish diplomats who went to Korea representing US interests visit him and then send the parents a letter. Warmbier is then, on the 17th of March, sentenced to 15 years of hard labour in a North Korean camp in a trial process. Now, even for somebody who's North Korean and has, let's say, done something to upset the family or something, or spoken against Kim Jong-un or something, or said something detrimental, or done something like that, even for North Koreans, that's a really very, very harsh sentence. They're making an example of him. They show pictures of him in court. There's two uniformed police officers escorting him by, both sides of him. He's handcuffed. He looks at the floor. Then, of course, the White House criticises the verdict and says that North Korea is using him as a pledge for the political agenda, which is clearly the case. It's quite obvious to everybody. And on his birthday, December 12th, he's 22 on that day, The family in Cincinnati lights 3 lanterns that they fly into the night sky and sing happy birthday for him. February 2017, shortly after his introduction into office, US Secretary of State Rex Tillerson informs the US President Donald Trump about the fate of Americans who have been imprisoned in North Korea, including Warmbier. Trump instructs his minister to obtain their release. At least he's trying. That's commendable, at least. First positive thing I've heard him do. Yeah, it really is. April 10th, 2017. In a TV interview, Fred Warmbier accuses US diplomats of having not helped his family at all in the release of Otto. Both the reigning government and the predecessors, around President Barack Obama, had not much hope he would be released. Instead, as usual in such situations, they were asked to not express themselves publicly. Fred Warmbier appealed to President Trump, "Please bring my son home." The North Korean authorities continue to deny the Swedish diplomats any further contact with him, and visits are also rejected. April 29th, 2017. Fred and Cindy give several US media interviews. "The time of strategic waiting is over," says Fred. "They have no idea where the son is or how he's doing. We don't know if Otto still exists." June 2017. So present day, really. North Korean diplomats in New York ask for a talk with the US government and report about Otto Warmbier's state of health to the North Korean officer of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Warmbier family finds out very shortly afterwards that their son has been in a coma since March last year. And remember, March 1st was when he was sentenced, and this staged press conference. And then the second day, on the March 2nd, was when the Swedish diplomats visited him and then sent the letter to his parents. So he probably got tortured to death after that and just treated like absolute crap and beaten around the head so many times until he was like a vegetable. On the 13th of June, he is released and flown home in a US government aeroplane with a medical team via Japan. After arriving in Cincinnati, he immediately is brought to the hospital and he's not conscious. June 14th, Trump calls the Warmbier family, inquires about the health of their son. According to Fred Warmbier, Trump, his foreign minister Tillerson and others had committed themselves to the release of the 22-year-old from North Korea. June 15th, North Korea announces that Otto Warmbier has been released for humanitarian reasons. The regime maintains that the young man had fallen ill with botulism, and that is a meat or sausage poisoning. Yeah, in a country that's starving, I don't think you're going to be eating lots of meat. That's a load of crap. And had not woken up again after the administration of a sleeping tablet. Yeah. Okay, so that's a load of crap too. If there's nothing wrong with you, why should you not wake up again? So, then Fred, of course, on the other hand, understandably accuses North Korea of torturing his son, and he says, quite rightly so, and I agree with him, that the 22-year-old had serious neurological damage, says the father at a press conference. The treating physicians also say that Warmbier is in a state of unreliable alertness. Large areas of his brain are damaged, says Daniel Kunter, director of the Neurological Centre where the student was medically supervised. Warmbier had apparently had breathing problems, thereby interrupting the oxygen connection to the brain. According to the physician, North Korea also handed over 2 shots of Warmbier's brain, which was supposed to have been recorded in April and July of last year. It was supposedly therefore possible to see how his condition had deteriorated. The doctors did not find any evidence of botulism, understandably, because that's a load of rubbish, they just made that up. However, such traces would be unlikely after more than a year. With regard to possible torture, the doctors say Warmbier has no broken bones, there are no other injuries to his body which could not come from medical care. June 19th, Otto Warmbier dies at 2:20. In a statement, the parents announce the death of their son and make North Korea directly responsible for it. Unfortunately, The terrible, painful mistreatment of our son by the North Koreans did not leave anything other than the sad outcome that has happened today, the statement says. Trump also blames North Korea for the death of Warmbier. The United States is again condemning the brutality of the North Korean regime while we mourn its recent victim. But he didn't write that himself. What exactly Warmbier died of is unclear. The doctors do not want to express themselves to the cause of death and also no other details of the state of health. Now, I don't know about you, but if you hear about somebody who confesses to something, is sentenced, then is taken away, not shown to anyone, for over a year. Oh, and then roughly a year later you hear, oh, he's been in a coma since 11 months. Something like that. What would your first thought be? Yes, exactly. That's what I thought too. I don't think for a second that what they say was wrong with him or happened to him happened. I believe that he was probably taken down after that confession of his and then probably just ill-treated until he fucking couldn't bloody talk anymore. And they did this probably just for a few days, not even, maybe a few hours. And after that, they fucking shocked the shit out of his kid. I mean, he's 22, or 21 at the time. He's 22 now. He died at 22. I look back at myself when I was 22, and it's a long time ago. So I'm like thinking to myself, okay, this is horrible. He had no chance. He had absolutely no chance. The minute he made the decision to take his self with his American passport, get on that plane and go to North Korea, it was clear that he was fucking up. And that was a big mistake. And this whole, I don't know, he sounds like he might have gone there to proselytise. I mean, he was there with a church group, right? You're trying to bring Jesus to these people. Look, I'm sorry. This is Stalinism, okay? Religion is seen as the enemy. You possess a Bible in North Korea? You can get shot for that. They don't joke around. Now, all this stuff that people are scared of, this socialism everybody's always talking about, North Korea doesn't have anything like that. Essentially, North Korea is fascist. The way they treat you, they just shoot you, they don't give a shit. If you do something tiny, like this whole... Think about it. Which normal country would put somebody in prison for stealing a propaganda banner from my hotel room? First of all, propaganda is something negative. Look it up. There's nothing positive about it in any way, shape or form. It doesn't matter where it comes from. It doesn't matter if it's left wing or right wing. Propaganda is always shit. Propaganda is there to make you change your mind, to make you hate X groups of people, to take your focus off the people that are actually taking the money away from you. Yeah. Again, you know this, you don't need me to tell you this. There is nothing positive about a place like North Korea. It is a dictatorship. It is a personal cult. Sorry, but what's special about him? You think he doesn't shit when he stink when he shits? Because he does. Sorry, what a piece of fucking crap. And then they think, oh, America's the enemy, because technically they are still in a state of war. This isn't a joke. If you're an American and you want to go to North Korea, have you got a death wish? That's like saying, don't put your cat in the microwave, it'll kill it. That's clear too, to anyone with just a bit of common sense.